Hi everybody, this is your headless professor here to show you how to load film onto a film reel that then goes into a film developing tank so that you can develop your film. This is the first video in a series of videos that show you how to do the film developing process in our lab here in Loso Hall. I've got some equipment out in front of me that I will run through really quickly, and then I'll show you the process. First thing I have, and one of the most important components to film developing, is the film reel. We have lots of these in various states of wear. We have some new ones and some old ones. They come apart if I twist them and pull the halves apart. And you'll notice that there's a wide end and a narrow end, and they slide together and they click in place, and they're lined up properly when these tabs are even with each other. If you put it back together and you can only get the tabs to do this, then you have the reel put together the wrong way and it will not work. Reels for film should be bone dry, so you need to make sure that a reel that you've picked up does not have any leftover liquid, water, or whatever chemistry on it before you use it. Your film will get stuck. But we do have a hair dryer at the front of the lab, pointing over there, in order to dry off reels really fast if you need to, if you're in a hurry, okay? The parts of my film developing tank include the tank itself, a center post, and for these tanks, we use these ridged posts that have a narrow end on the top and a wide end on the bottom, and then a threaded lid that screws into the top of my tank. And when I connect the center post with the lid and the bottom of the tank, it forms a light-tight container that light can't get into to ruin your film, but chemistry can go in and pour out, and you'll see that in the next steps. The hardest part of this whole process is getting film out of the canister and loaded onto the reel. And what makes this difficult is that you have to do this, complete this process in complete darkness. That means no lights, no safe lights, red tinted lights in the dark room, complete darkness. The best space for this is in the dark room, in the small room that has a locking door off in the corner of the dark room. That's the best spot for loading film because you can turn all the lights off and it stays nice and dark. Two other pieces of equipment that I have are my scissors, which should be in the dark room all the time, and a bottle opener, which also should be in the dark room all the time. And so the process goes like this. I can use the wide end of the bottle opener right here, not the pointed end, the wide end, to pry off the metal cap from the end of my canister of film. And to do that, sort of like I'm opening a bottle, I will get the lip of the can opener underneath the edge of the film canister, and eventually it will wiggle or lift up and I can wiggle it off. Okay, I don't need this anymore. That can go in the garbage. And then my film has a center post right here, and if I push that, the film will come out the other side, and I don't need this part, the empty film canister, either. And now I've got all of my pictures on this roll of film all rolled up in my hands. I want to make sure that I don't bend my film because the bends can create creases in the film that then you can't get out. And I want to make sure that I handle my film by the edges so I don't get any fingerprints on the emulsion side of the film. The first thing I have to do to load it onto the reel is I need to get rid of this leader tab because it's uneven because it only has these sprocket holes on one side. So I take my film, I grab my scissors, and I'm going to cut that as straight as I can, okay? And then, let's see how this goes. Using the reel lined up, like I said before, the film goes over the first set of tabs and under the second set of tabs and out the other side right there. And what I have to do is I have to give the film a little tug to get it to move past these little ball bearings that are here in the edges, both sides of the reel. And then what happens is, if my film is properly attached and I have a dry reel, I can actually, I'm holding it with my left hand here so that it doesn't come unraveled, I can actually use the mechanism of the reel itself. And what the ball bearings do as I rotate this back and forth is it's grabbing the film and pulling it like this, one side at a time, like a ratcheting mechanism. And if it's all lined up, then you can do this pretty quickly. And I'm going to keep going until I get to the end of the roll of film. This film, I need scissors to detach it because I can't put that plastic thing in the tank. Our film that we use, the black and white film we use for this class, you'll actually be able to just tear the end because it's clipped to the center post. This film was taped, so this is different. This is old color film that I don't need anymore. Once my film is on the reel keeps the film from touching on itself as it gets wet in the chemistry. I take the center post, I thread the spool of film onto the center post, and the wide end of my center post goes into the tank, like that. And then I can take the lid and I screw it on tight. Now my film is ready to be processed, which I will start talking about in our next video.